Hello everybody, Dylan here. Now today we are going to be wrapping up the Chris Chan Twitter Lockdown Trilogy set of videos. If you haven't seen the first two parts, you should go check those out. But for those of you guys who haven't seen the first two parts, let me give you a brief summary of what happened. Chris Chan is a weirdo online, and some people who decide to fuck with him and troll him online decide to go around to a bunch of brony analysts and other people he really likes and get them to block Chris Chan. Now, do I think blocking Chris Chan is the right thing to do? Personally, I think that it is good to avoid Chris Chan if you don't want any drama or trouble in your life, because the people who follow Chris cause trouble. So I would say, yes, there is a lot of good reasons to block Chris Chan, especially if you are a woman, because Chris Chan has been known to stalk people and be creepy around women. So I would say, yes, it is a good idea to block Chris Chan if you don't want to deal with his trouble, but I don't think that it was smart for so many people to block Chris Chan at once, because then he pretended to have a breakdown on Twitter, he started flipping out demanding to be unblocked, and the more he did this, the more it made people block him, and the more it made trolls want to mess with him because they thought it was funny to see him flip out. So now this has spiraled down into him locking down his Twitter to prevent more stuff from happening, him trying to gain sympathy by faking having a mental condition where he just fucking breaks down, starts speaking gibberish on Twitter. I talked about that last time, and this is the conclusion to all of that. So Chris Chan tweets out, "Hey everyone, I am making this tweet to announce that as of this morning, I am no longer the Rhea spy." And I think he meant to put red spy, but he just fucked it up because he's Chris, so typos are expected from him. On Dr. Wolf and Firebrand's team in Coaltown. Now, when people heard Coaltown and Red Spy, they thought Team Fortress 2. And yes, this is Team Fortress 2, but fortunately, Chris Chan does not actually play Team Fortress 2. Now, Chris Chan mentions a Dr. Wolf. I went on Dr. Wolf's channel to check out his content, and Dr. Wolf actually has a little RP series where they do go into Team Fortress 2. It's set in the Team Fortress 2 universe. And that's why the banner behind Chris Chan says Analyst Anarchy. It's because that's a brony thing. The brony analysts gather together to do that little RP. And that's where Chris Chan actually picked up his little motto of Bugbear. That is a Dungeons & Dragons term, but Chris Chan doesn't play Dungeons & Dragons. Instead, he's been watching Dr. Wolf, and Dr. Wolf and his friends do a little Dungeons & Dragons series. So Chris Chan is really big into Dr. Wolf right now, big enough to put him in the Sonichu comics, and he wants to pay homage to him by getting into Team Fortress 2 and Dungeons & Dragons. He has no plan to actually play this stuff as far as I know. He's just pretending to be in it, because that's what Chris Chan always does. And this is why communities don't like Chris Chan, because if Chris Chan finds something interesting about your subject, he'll try to put himself in your community, and that just looks bad on you. The Sonic community chased away Chris Chan. The Brony community has mostly chased away Chris Chan. Nobody wants Chris Chan associated with them because they know the type of people Chris Chan attracts. But let's continue with this. But I have left my mark in my efforts over there for the past few months there. Now, I don't think that Chris Chan was actually in the show, as far as I'm aware of. I didn't watch too much of it because I don't like brony stuff. But as far as I'm aware, I don't think Chris Chan was actually a member of the show. I think Chris Chan's just pretending yet again, like he did with Planet Dolan, how he would draw himself besides Dolan and them and have Dolan in his comic, even though him and Dolan never really interacted in real life and he wasn't a part of Planet Dolan. So I think this is yet again Chris Chan just inserting himself into things. And I don't think that the brony community wants anything to do with Chris, from the few people in the brony analyst community that I talked to see if Chris Chan was actually in their chat rooms. The past few months there, at least Dusty Cat doesn't have his alicorn amulet anymore. I have no idea what he's talking about there, and I don't care. This little Chris Chan Sonichu says, "I am the Red Spy," spelling red correctly this time, "for real. That is reality." Real and reality, redundancy. And I am zapping it up. And I don't like how his hand is modeled here, but this is very typical Chris Chan art. Without revealing the OC's name, potential spoiler alert, the new Red Spy is a changeling in a sweater. I have no idea what he's talking about there. That is all I will say about that. And now to the part that you guys actually care about. Meanwhile, I am still purging my Twitter account. Please remain patient. I will be back on daily tweets. Give it a day or two. Now, he is right about this, but unfortunately, this would be one of the last few Twitter threads for this particular Twitter. Note that I have recovered from the anxiety and stress of the recent blockings. Christian, if someone blocking you on Twitter is actually giving you anxiety and stress, maybe it's best for you to stay off of Twitter. Because any adult would be like, oh, someone blocked me. Oh well, who cares? I'll go follow someone else, or I just won't be affected by it. But Christian, he sees blocking as like a grave fucking thing where he can no longer watch what this person makes or actually interact with this person anymore just because they blocked him on Twitter. I don't see any point of it. Like, people block me on Twitter, but I'm not gonna fucking pretend to have a mental breakdown and flip out. I just move on with my life. I remain fully intent on redeeming myself with each... Redeeming myself with each of the analysts in time? No. Christian, you've always said that you would redeem yourself. You've been saying this all the way back since your ED page was first made. You say you're going to redeem yourself and you never do. You said it to Megan. You said it to plenty of other people. You never fucking redeem yourself. If anything, you've been progressively getting worse as the years go on. Your stalking has become more obvious. Your attempts at picking women up has become more vulgar. The stuff you put online is more vulgar. You think that Ted Bundy is a fucking Sonichu who did nothing wrong. You're not improving. You're only getting worse with time. Meanwhile, I wish to assure everyone that I am mentally and emotionally stable. You are neither of those, Chris. You take a pill to remain to be one of those, and for the mental part, you run around thinking that you have Sonichu powers, you think that there's an alternate dimension of Quickville, and yet again, bringing up Bundy Chew, you think Ted Bundy did nothing wrong. There are so many things I could bring up that you actually think and believe that could prove that you are not mentally stable. Hell, you could just bring up the Teen Troon Squad stuff where you're making out with your fake waifu or humping your pillow, screaming Shrek songs. Like, come on, don't try to go with that. You're pretty fucking crazy. I am not delusional or psychotic. That's bullshit and everyone knows it. Or anything similar. It still remains. I don't think Christian is a threat to anyone. I don't think Christian's gonna hurt anyone. I don't think he's gonna kill anyone. That includes himself. But he is pretty crazy. It remains a shame that not everyone is able to see our sister dimension. Right after you talk about how not crazy you are, you say something insane like an alternate dimension existing where all cartoon characters are real. Christian, I don't even know what to say to you anymore at that point. And those who are here in our dimension right now, but that will be remedied soon through the hands of fate and destiny. It will never happen. The dimensional merge will never happen. It hasn't happened yet. Your prediction was wrong. Admit you were wrong. Get over it. Fucking claim it was a joke. Claim you misread the fate or whatever. Just let this go, Chris. The more you push on this dimensional merge stuff, the more people will want to stay away from you because they think you are actually crazy. As you can tell from my wording, I am not acting on any Hulktastic rampage. I wouldn't call it Hulktastic rampage. I'd say it was just you fucking randomly typing shit on Twitter. You saying random things doesn't actually make me believe you're having a meltdown, Chris. And your white knights may be going, oh my god, you really pushed Chris Chan this time. He's over the loose and he's going crazy on Twitter. Look at what your hate has done to him. I don't buy it. I don't buy it. I've followed you for years, Chris. I know what you do. This is just your little fucking attention-seeking thing. You're not actually upset. You're fine. You just want to get your way. You want the people who blocked you to unblock you. And you'll fucking fake a mental breakdown if you have to, because you know that there are people who are sympathetic for you, and you will use that sympathy. You know who you are, and you know that you have white knights, or any such impulsive emotions. Also, I have been made aware of my past behaviors. Oh, have you? I couldn't guess that. And I have learned from them. No, you have not learned from them. Last year alone proves that you've learned from nothing in the past decade and have no intention of repeating those social mistakes or errors. I'll keep you to that. And I'll watch your Twitter, I'll watch your YouTube, and be sure you don't repeat any of those errors. That is all for now. Have a good and safe day, everyone. Then he posts a gif of a pony. That is not the only thread that Chris Chan made. He made one more thread. He'll be talking about it right here, so let's just get into it. General update. Everyone, I am making the final step to move to my new main Twitter account right now. Yes, Chris Chan decided to make an alternate Twitter account because this one was full of such haters and got him blocked and no one was going to unblock him, that he would rather just make a new account, so then when people find out that he made a new account and is following them again and that stuff might happen to them where they'll get harassed by his audience, they'll just block him again. But when he made this new account, he already had it on lockdown to begin with, so he's trying to keep out some of the bullies, but I'm allowed to follow him, so it's not gonna go well. This is just an accident waiting to happen. All this shit is going to repeat itself inevitably, and when it does, I probably won't talk about it. This shall be the very last bunch of tweets for this old account of mine. Let the record show that this old account, CWC Sonotru, has been around for a very long time, many years. In that time, it has accumulated more than 7,000 tweets and more than 3.5 thousand followers. That is a pretty impressive number, but you are pretty popular. In my new account, and then he lists his new account name, I will be striving to contain less drama and haters. Well, why are you linking your new Twitter account if you want to keep the haters away? I mean, they'll find it regardless, so I guess you might be a little bit more self-aware than I thought. And harassers shall be blocked out, period. So if you are accepted to follow, watch your language and choice of words. So he's saying that he wants to try to prevent all this stuff from happening again. But yet again, I was able to follow him and I'm not blocked, so I don't know. I think this is just going to repeat itself, but whatever. As long as you don't say any mean words in front of him, I guess you can just go behind his back and get him blocked again. And with that, everyone who wants to continue following should go to my new account. Very smart idea, Chris Chan, announcing your new account. From this moment on, this account will remain as is and be inactive. Thank you all for the support and kindness, and no thank you for the hatred and harassment and bullying. Boom, and then he leaves. Now, I like that Chris Chan left this account open. It's good for the Christorians because they want to archive everything and they want to have copies of all of his tweets. I think he's aware of his popularity. That's why he left this account open for everyone to see, and everyone who archives Chris Chan stuff and already has links posted everywhere to have. But I don't think it was a good idea linking your new account, and I don't think it was a good idea making your new account look just like your old one. I don't know how long it's going to take for this to blow up in your face, Chris, but I have a feeling it will. But yeah, this new account is on lockdown, but it started out that way, so as far as I'm concerned, when the old account got unlocked, the Twitter lockdown saga is over. I suggest you, if you are a Christorian, to follow Chris Chan and don't say anything bad, and you'll actually get to keep watching his Twitter account. Now, for those of you guys who are wondering, I'm not going to be consistently doing Chris Chan life updates. When it comes to my channel, I only really want to talk about the funny stuff involving Chris Chan, like the mental breakdowns, the funny sagas, the goofy shit involving his life, like with the man in the pickle suit and stuff like that. If you really do want to see weekly updates on Chris Chan and casual stuff and hear it from someone who's a lot more positive than me, you should go check out Gibby. People have been talking about him in my comment section. I already do watch him, and he makes good stuff. So if you want some positive Chris Chan content, go check him out. I thought I'd give him a little bit of a shout out so people would know, yes, I do watch him. You don't have to keep telling me to watch him. I'm already aware of him. So yeah, the Twitter lockdown saga. It's a good way to start off 2019. It's not anything really too toxic. We got to see Chris Chan have a spurg out. We got to have some fun with it. There were some good memes from it. And in the end, things are basically back to normal. I don't think Chris Chan's going to delete his Twitter account. And as long as people don't get him blocked again, he should be fine. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you like it, hit the like button. If you really like it, share it. And if you want to see more content like this, then subscribe. If you really want to help out, go donate to my Patreon or my PayPal or my Ko-fi. If you donate more than $2, you will get in the credits that are about to play. Thank you guys for watching, and bye.